That's not good. What do you do? He even broke my floor.
With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
No, Skeletor. Stop.
He-Man, I shall take
What
the
did that
staff.
bastard want with us?
Shut up.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
Have you heard about Raid Shadow Legends? If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in usual fashion. iPhone. I am now on the final 2 parts of the patches. I think I'm gonna get through both of them today, and like I've actually tried to like at this point there's been so many quests post the main story of the first like base game, so I eventually just caved and just looked up a list of how many there are, and there's like 80 something quests, and that's apparently after they what's it called, after they went back and revised the entire list and got rid of a bunch of them, but there's still like 80 quests, and a lot of it is like fetch quest based and stuff, even though they removed most of it. I think I have a more positive impression of these quests and the main story of Realm Reborn than seems to be like the general consensus, because I mean, I really enjoyed the story of Realm Reborn. I thought it was really good, and like the actual story of the patches have brought some really interesting stuff, like really interesting like people really discussing like some deep politics and stuff like that, and we have some real interesting character growth in a lot of people that we've known throughout the game, and then we have some real great new characters showing up, like Emmerich, and you know, just we get more Archifant, which is always nice. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the game. He might be my favorite character in the game so far, that I've actually interacted with in the main story. And just overall, like, the patches have been really interesting, I think, even though there's a lot of like going back and forth, which reminds me a lot of the Company of Heroes quests leading up to Titan in the main quest of A Realm Reborn, because that kind of drove me insane with how much you had to go around for them to just be like, oh, we're just pranking you, bro. It's just a joke. It's just a prank. That actually made me like annoyed, thoroughly annoyed. Not enough to be like, how dare this game, but like doing something and then be like, well, you can't criticize us doing something like this because we called ourselves out on it. It's not something I generally enjoy. And I felt like it was kind of just wasting your time at that point. And one of my favorite things about this game so far is that it feels like it doesn't waste your time in a lot of ways. It just delivers a like tight, concise story, and you get to go in like well-designed dungeons. You get to fight the trials, which is like, it's one boss and you're done. So it's like a lot of the stuff in the game doesn't want to waste your time, but then you have some of those quests, which is like, and now you have to run around for 2 to 3 hours and do nothing of value to then just be able to do the boss fight you were waiting to do the entire time. Even though nothing has really changed from you doing this except for us pranking you. But yeah, other than that, it's like I've really enjoyed the game so far, like a lot. I don't really have any characters that stick out to me as being like, I don't like this character. This character is poorly written, because like even the characters I dislike are like well written assholes. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. I'm still curious if the Dragoon guy comes back when I finally get back into like the Dragoon class quests later on, because apparently you get more class quests in every new expansion, which is kind of nice. And he kind of blew up and then disappeared. So I'm curious to see if he comes back in the class quest in the future, so I can interact more with him, because he seemed cool. And probably want to see more of my monk teacher as well. I think that'd be cool. He was like he's one of the character who's like from Alamigo and is like properly like in a bad place mentally, and has been for a long time because of all the stuff they've been through. So I'm really interested to see him come back as well. And otherwise, yeah, I'm just very excited to see like what's gonna happen, because I still have no idea where the first expansion takes place even. So I'm just really curious to see what they're gonna do. Let's get into it. I'm most eager to address the Ascian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both knew full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Science of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, Antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Chrane, in particular, is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situations in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Taleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Rauban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to have him just be there. Moenbryda's Moenbryda's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I'm not familiar with the details. Urianger is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an aetheryte blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Chrane, will we focus on that task? While we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his Braves with theirs. It would do much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organization and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. It's interesting that both me and Menphilia have the Echo, but she doesn't fight and, like, actively do things the way, like, the main character is. I guess she uses her power in a, like, more grander political way, but, like, it seems like my character is affecting things more than hers is, so I don't know if it's, like, worth the trade-off to have a person with the Echo be in charge of everything. Maybe she should, like, give leadership to someone else and she, like, focus on getting trained in the field instead. Because I feel like she could actually achieve, like, a lot of good stuff if she actually, like, went that route. I don't know. It's just a thought I had. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. I haven't given you an answer yet. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Riol's latest reports. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and order him to investigate the Old Dawn riots. Good idea. When you're finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in usual fashion. iPhone. Real. 3 whistles and he shows up. Pleasure as always, Chrane. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I take it. Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for his benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons, what found their ways into refugee hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising, a rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near Highbridge. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer his transaction remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Chrane, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Very nice of him. Very nice. I'm sure it didn't have massive repercussions. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, it might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods. Savvy? Savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Chrane? Just Tataru chilling in the background. Then it's settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Okay. I don't understand. What's this all about? Yeah! Yo, Ilbert, what the hell? As you can see, this is a fine mess. You absolutely killed him. What do you mean this is a fine mess? Why'd you kill him? When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out, but before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. You're the only one here. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard. To bring in an experienced recruit, Commander Levier will be most disappointed. There's no one else here. What are you talking about? Damn it all, golden opportunity wasted. Yo, what's this? Why are you acting suspicious, dude? What's happening? As for the clients, though we know not how, they slipped past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking a party of Duskwhite sellswords we suspect may have them. Also, he's saying there were soldiers here with him, but they left? Okay. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the Immortal Flames or the Brass Blades. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons, yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicates a massive shipment. And this is anything but. Are you involved with that shipment somehow? Like, why would you kill him and then just be like, oh, we have inexperienced soldiers. You clearly killed him. A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ilbert, you say? Yeah, but he's acting suspicious as f. So, I don't know what he's up to, man. Once we've catalogued the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? It's a very low poly box. Who knows? Riol stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. Perhaps Ilberd took it? A blatant falsehood. Clearly Riol is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dan merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. I mean, not untrue, but I feel like we should give Riol the benefit of the doubt. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. It's still something we're celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. Man, Wilred is still, like, really into the whole, like, I gotta fight the Empire and get my homeland back. I'm glad he, like, has a purpose and doesn't, like, ambush people coming to Little Alamigo trying to help them anymore. I'm glad he's doing this instead. There will be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to see glory in battle. True. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the cerulean processing plant. Time for the fourth to earn their keep, huh? Fight well, Alian, for the freedom of all. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear of your contribution until we meet again. Oh, Chrane, a word, if it please you. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. Love it. Thanks for indulging my request. A few places better than a market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and the bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed. Clever. I'll get to the point. At the burning wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. Yeah, so he's suspicious as hell, and I think he broke the guy's neck and blamed a subordinate. That's not quite how the first told it. Interesting. These dusk whites they were chasing, latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw him yourself, not before the fighting started, nor after. Huh, something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in my bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, damn it. I know he purchased those weapons. So there's still a lot of weapons missing then. As if I've never deciphered a money lender's books or had follow a transaction back to its source. Riol is probably my favorite of the immortal... Not the Immortal Flames. I was about to call them Immortal Blades, just crossing both of it together. Crystal Braves. He's probably one of my favorite Crystal Braves. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurances that weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend, I've got a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate you lending me an ear. Right, then, best get back to it. Trust in yourself, man. I believe in you.
Chrane, can you hear me? This is Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stone. Please come and see me as soon as you're able.
Yo, what up?
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you.
Yeah, Saul, Lucia.
I believe the two of you have met.
We have.
We have. I had hoped to speak with
We
Commander
have.
Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer.
That's fine.
The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
Okay.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
Have you heard about Raid Shadow Legends?
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm.
The alarum. That's funny.
Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers.
Wait, so
Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
So, Ishgard follows both religion and astrology? Now that's a curveball. That explains so much. That explains so much.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
That doesn't sound good.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye.
Yeah.
The brightening of the dragon star is said to accompany the roar
Wait, she
of a
said
great
Curthan.
worm.
I thought she said
astrologers believe that it was
Cartono
Midgardsormr
for some
himself
reason.
who cried out on this occasion.
Oh.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragon Star portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
That's a no then, okay. Her voice actor didn't come back.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgardsormr had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
I would assume so, yeah.
Roar is but a figure of speech.
Oh.
Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken.
They're
It
telepathic?
is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgardsormr. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights.
I would assume so, yeah.
Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
Absolutely. Emmerich has been nice and respectful
We knew you would not
and
disappoint
reasonable,
us.
so yeah,
Now,
of
if you would
course.
excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Oh, really? Whoa. Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Urianger stated, we now call the Keeper of the Lake. What we now call the Keeper of the Lake is a wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in this campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius van Baelsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgardsormr, legendary guardian of Silverfall, also known as the Midgard Serpent and Jormungandr, if you know your Norse mythology, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. Oh yeah, that's from that cutscene. Yeah, so Midgardsormr has to be the long one that, like, wrapped around the big ship then, I'm assuming. Which makes sense because it's the Midgard Serpent. It wraps around the world, bites its own tail. So I'm assuming he wrapped around the ship and then crashed it, if I'm remembering correctly. Hiccups. Yay. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silvertear Skies, or Silvertear, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's ceruleum engines failed and it tumbled into the lake below, yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. Oh. He exploded. That's not great. But he's back? They'll probably tell me. That same explosion transformed Silvertear Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its water and crystallizing ether for miles around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and it is at its center a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Emmeric's wishes, our dome and allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Sounds good to me. Be careful, my friend, we know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own tasks. There is much to be done, and precious little time to do it. You're in luck, sir. I was about to send word to Revenant's Toll about the Garleans. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry. Hold on. Okay. The fan needs to calm down. Turned it down a notch. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Castrum supply line has been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then, the Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again. Oh, okay, I see now. I haven't actually, taken the time to look at this thing. Yeah, I see the wings. Okay, that's interesting. Nice. Well, from here, that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrius. So we're doing a dungeon. I'm assuming, or is it just a trial? I'm assuming a dungeon. Then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say.
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber?
Really now? Is that supposed to be Midgardsormr? I guess so. See, he has a voice actor and everything, damn.
Thou hast forgotten the face of thy lord. Remember, mortal.
I should have come as a dragoon.
Me.
Oh god.
Ah, my toes. Wah.
Okay, guess he's gone. Okay, so what was that?
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve.
So he knows about Hydaelyn? Oh.
Speak, mortal.
That's a cool shot.
I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn.
Why do you hate each other?
Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds.
Okay, who wronged who then?
We do not
You were wronged?
forget. We do not forgive.
I'm gonna need some answers, sir.
7 children did I sire.
Okay.
One now
Do I know them?
of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end.
Oh.
Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted.
How dare you?
But chosen.
I fought hard for this.
Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear
Remember what?
not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
Good. Good to know, thank you. Duh. I shall not harm thee. I will beam you through the heart, though. Probably kill you. Oh, I'm back here. In my safe place. My collection. They're not supposed to do that, are they? That's not good. What do you do? He even broke my floor. What do you do?
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker.
I don't know what you are, man.
Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's
So you just removed my shield, but now I can be harmed.
mine.
It's still your fault, though.
I did but strip thee of thy mistress.
How dare you, man? How
Blessed
dare you? I worked hard for those.
Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more.
I mean, she hasn't been talking to me for quite a few patches by now, so... what is that? It's a chicken dragon? That is weird looking.
The covenant binds me to thee. I shall watch, listen, and wait.
So he basically sends a small, like, biological radio-controlled car to hang out.
It be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp.
Whoever's playing the piano is going crazy.
I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice.
I am thoroughly confused.
The dragon song heraldeth our beginning and an end.
You conversed with Midgardsormr. I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. Are we to understand that the Wormlord did not perish, and has ensued lain dormant these past 15 years? Lesser resurrection. Sorry. Why am I doing this? Okay.
Lesser resurrection, more of a rejuvenation for he who eternity. He is present his moments.
I almost forgot about that. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishkard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emeric immediately. However, we do not divulge your conversation with Midgardsormr in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravanian is a grave but necessary risk, lest we forget men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection and for the sake of our tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. Minfilia. Alphino. Urion J.
Alphino.
As for now, we shall present our revelation to Sir Emeric's emissary. You may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. Is there something you're not telling us, Chrane? You seem different somehow. It is almost as if you're missing something important. My crystal collection is gone. 12 for Fend, Midgardsormr stripped you of the blessing of light. Are you alright? How do you feel? I'm alright. I see, it's a relief to hear that you're otherwise unharmed. Why am I... Why? It beggars a belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgardsormr made mention of a covenant, did he not? Yes, can you please break this down for me, because I'm confused. One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Worm. Altic and Nymea, brother Time and sister Fate, decreed that Midgardsormr ever watch over the source from which all water and magic was said to flow. Okay. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and 'twas not the gods with whom he treated, but Heidelin herself? Sylph. Well, if he's watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Yes, let's not talk to each other. That's gonna work out perfectly. Oh?
Art thou a pawn, O master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal?
So he sasses me and then leaves? What a dick. Hello.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Wormlord and lived to tell the tale.
And he he didn't speak to me. I swear.
I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
One of the two in Eorzea. Is Bahamut the second one
I am
then?
told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature.
Oh, we have nukes. With
Will they be
Elfirs on
enough
them.
to repel a massive force?
Yes. They're
Ishgard
nukes.
has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Give my regards to the Lord Commander. Shinzo Sasageo.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Well, we're waiting.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know.
More PowerPoints.
So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Yeah. An aetherite blade or whatever we're talking
To
about.
unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Yeah.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of.
If any.
As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods?
Yeah, we did talk about that last time.
Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they?
Always do.
While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Moenbryda.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
It's true.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit
She's
more
never been on
hands-on.
YouTube.
I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out.
An etheric siphon. Okay.
Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Moenbryda makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
I don't know.
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum.
Really?
During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals.
Saw right through him.
Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go.
Agreed.
Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Ascians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
He jumped into the conversation as soon as she said it was a bad idea to beat around the bush. And he was like, that's my cue. Let me chime in. These two, I swear. Get a room.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalymo shall accompany you. Ida and Y'shtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moenbryda. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Arianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you're able. Go well, and be safe.
May the Force be with you. May the Force be with you too, Master. Oh. Your duties take you to northern Thanaland, do they not?
We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Flamin travels to Ul'dah, and we shall serve as her escorts. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front, or we shall fall. How extraordinary that my little Ascilia is now involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Ul'dah has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with her streets.
Bah, woe betide a blackguard that so much as glares in your direction, milady.
I don't remember their voices. Did the flex thing. So funny.
I shall be well protected, it seems.
Shall we be on our way then?
Oy. Bye-bye.
You know, you don't all have to... Wilred, my boy. Commander Levier sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talent is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. I would hope so. But returning to the task at hand. The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Raubon's Push. There's a place named after Reborn. That's sick. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Edelstein, and we might coordinate our counter-strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Alianne and Wilred. Glad to have you with us, Chrane. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castrum Meridianum. Their main column assembles to the north, near Dalamud's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. Here's Ilberd. Mr. Cave Strangler, what the fuck? They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilberd. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows some lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless, holed up in Ul'dah, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in the plant's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, It would be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are any objections, the Scions... If there are no objections... If there are no objections, the Scions shall join the 4th and give battle to this main column. You're with the 3rd then. Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads, hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. Okay. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yuyuhase. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. Bye.
Hold on, I won't be a second.
Oh, she's a warrior. Cool. I assumed she'd be a caster of some sort.
The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe.
Damn.
I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one.
Damn. So she plays both scholar and warrior then.
It's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on.
Urianger?
The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it.
Oh wow. That's a cool effect. Looked great.
So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed?
I did. It was cool.
The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether. Which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade.
Easy.
I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
He senses me. A useful talent.
Oh. Ring raid. Which one?
An Ascian.
Oh, it's Sideburns.
Are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth. Meddler.
Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Oh, does she... Wait. Is it speaking the...
Your instincts serve you well. But come.
Is he actually speaking the other language?
Settled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath.
It's generally considered f***ed up to say that, dude.
You
should smile more. Don't say that.
We meet at last, warrior of light.
How do you pronounce it?
I am Nabrialis.
Nabrialis. Okay, good.
And you have long been a thorn in my side.
I've been a thorn in most of your sides.
I suffered
all of
the
you.
overweening presence of Lahabrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Mm-hmm. She's going in.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down.
I did not see that coming. Damn.
Concede that I acted in self-defense.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her
Thank
champion?
the damn sea dragon
This
for that
I
one.
did not foresee. shorn of light as you are no longer a threat.
Are you sure about that?
And better yet, the seal is broken.
What seal?
Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
No, Skeletor. Stop.
He-Man, I shall take
What
the
did that
staff.
bastard want with us?
Shut up. What do you want? I.
Nobrialis, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious.
He goes over there and just bonks them on the head.
Staff? You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day.
So she didn't understand him then?
Must be quite a
Or was she
staff.
just knocked out?
Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff.
Oh.
Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Oh, it's the one hanging on the wall. You're here. Master Louis Soir's staff is kept in the Solar, isn't it? Quickly now. It's gone. He's still here. Oh, voice acting. Okay, she's the one holding it. Okay, good. Well, Nebrialis.
So, you were able to divine my intent.
Yeah, you told
What
us.
now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull and quite incapable of
Quite
bearing my
incapable.
Okay, Skeletor.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you.
You have the right to enlighten. Go on. Shed my secrets.
The blessing of light
Dish the tea.
kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my
I like
kind
that.
from entering your domain.
I'm such a sucker for shit like
I
that.
say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could
Whoa,
only
whoa,
look
whoa.
on.
Elidibus is from Eorzea?
But I need
Or our
look
world?
no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
Makes sense.
None other.
You will not harm her!
Are you doing it again? Oh god.
Moenbryda!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
Oh, she can't understand you still, huh?
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
Please tell us, yeah.
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed?
Key to what?
The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings.
Well, that's
How else do you
convenient.
think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
That's unacceptable. Sorry. Oh, he just straight up did. Well. Oh, it's still here? So are we going in after them, or...?
After them!
Yeah.
Quickly! Before the rift closes!
You alright? Should I call someone in here to help you? And I'm in. Crystals. Oh god. She hanging in front of the statue of their god. Is she okay? Oh. There he is. He-Man! Young sideburns. Okay, let's not die this time, right? This fight is surprisingly long. Okay, we did it. We didn't wipe this time. Good. Okay, now let's end this dump. Oh. Got that. In every alleys. Dummy, you're going down. We got him. Easy. Go. Secret Ascian man. Uh-huh. Bye-bye. She's free. Oh, we didn't... Thought it was gonna cut to me running to save her, but nope. She just fell to the ground. Haha! And we're back. She's here, and we have the stuff.
Safe. Thank the 12.
Oh, and he's here as well. Do I get to see his face? Oh. That's a disgusting squishy sound.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next?
But what of the
what
next?
Of all the days to come?
Meh, He-Man.
Show me the face on the corpse. Show me the face. Damn it.
Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, Scions.
She has it on her. Are we doing it? Are we doing this?
There will be no next time. This is the end.
Oh. Oh. Floats on its own. Cool.
trickery is this?
Uh,
No. No. Cannot. No.
Use Tube Samati to gather ether.
Yeah.
Quickly, before he breaks free.
will this destroy the building? That's what I'm worried about right now.
Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light.
Back when I still had the blessing, yeah. Oh. Okay.
Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Maybe?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me. I shall make you pay for your insolence.
I shall make you pay for your insulin. Oh god.
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light.
She hasn't spoken to us in like 5 patches. I don't see why she would now.
Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
How are we gonna actually end this
If
then?
only we had a bit more ether.
She realized something.
Moenbryda, what are you doing?
Master Louis-Soir, I understand now. The choice you made. In death, there is life. Farewell, Urianger. You daft old...
Is she sacrificing herself? No. No, I like her character. Don't. Please don't do that. No.
Moenbryda!
No.
No! You mustn't!
Wow.
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
Damn. We got him.
Moenbryda.
I can't believe we lost Moenbryda, man.
She's gone.
She was a great character. That's actually really sad.
You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
Uh-huh.
What happened here? Where is Moenbryda?
I'm really sad about this. I liked her a lot.
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands.
Yeah.
Does Urianger know?
Not yet. Or maybe he does.
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
He knows.
I heard all, my lady.
Yeah.
The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moenbryda hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Charlayan motherland, Moenbryda and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hitherto the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Charlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moenbryda. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moenbryda discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her.
I don't think there was any doubt at the end. At all.
Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moenbryda truly come to understand Master Louisoix's will before the end?
I love it when that happens, like in the game, and it actually makes sense.
The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her.
It's sad.
Moenbryda, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
Moenbryda gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians.
She did. She
Her
died a hero.
sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moenbryda in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
This probably hits him the hardest out of all of them.
Take all the time you require.
Yeah.
We shall be here should you have need of us.
Did a few side quests to clear my mind, and then I come back and everyone's just still in the middle of a bummer party. Don't blame them though. Goddamn. Never have I seen Urianger so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlian manor to celebrate Moenbryda's life and mourn her passing. There's Midgardsormr in the background. Still. It's one of the symbols of the gods, right?
Forgive me, Moenbryda. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Not now.
Life for death, a fair exchange.
Uh-huh.
Other bargains will be struck.
Don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. R.I.P. Moenbryda. Nope. It's as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But it's a pain we must learn to bear if we're to forge ahead with our duty. I know what you were all thinking. Stop it. This is serious. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Moenbryda, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Yeah, let's not forget about that massacre, because damn. The spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. Gamers, rise up. I hardly need remind you of this, of course. It is for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Chrane. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. It's not weakness. You're my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on towards the light of a new day.